is a vampire.
You just saw 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game.
Hey, let's go! Get in here! Get in here right now! Get in here!
You are now watching College Football Frenzy. Here are your hosts, JJ Seglio and Jake Marino.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of College Football Frenzy. Jake, it is great to have you back once again. We apologize for the delay in uploads. This was supposed to be done on Monday, but we were busy, so we decided we were just going to film today on Thursday. Jake, how are we doing today?
Oh, I'm great. I got a couple more classes today. I got Yankees, Red Sox, Game 3 of the wild card, but I know this is not the show for talking about baseball.
True, but that's a big one for sure. Everybody's going to be watching that game. Obviously, you already know who I'm rooting for. It's New York or nowhere. I hope the Eggs go out and get the win. But that's for a whole nother thing. Yeah. Also, I just want to let you guys know that we will be streaming Niners versus Rams tonight on Thursday Night Football. It's going to be a fun one. Things might get thrown. We'll see how it goes. But let's start today's show off with our good old-fashioned weekly recap. Jake, this was one of the most chaotic weeks I've ever seen in college football.
Oh, yeah. And I know we both talked about it last week, how I don't know which game to watch. And I got the chance to watch all. I started with Oregon and Penn State. Quickly realized that game was going nowhere. So I quickly switched to Alabama and Georgia. And let me tell you, that game was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. And I'll kid you not. You even start off with Friday's slate, for example. You had FSU, Virginia, which we'll get to in a minute. Arizona State versus TCU, which was an absolute shootout. That game was a ton of fun to watch. And then how about the Houston Cougars? Connor Wakeman coming back down 14 points against Oregon State. He goes 20 for 36 with 270 and 2 touchdowns. The Houston Cougars are 4-0. Yeah, I never thought I'd ever hear that.
They're really having a really nice season. They're playing fundamentally sound football, and it's great to see the Houston Cougars getting off to a 4-0 start.
We did see a couple of scares, however, in college football. Also, Marshall and Louisiana decided they're going to play the greatest college football game in the history of college football games. Shout out to the Raging Cajuns for picking up a 54-51 win after a 21-point fourth quarter. But, also a scare for BYU. They looked absolutely putrid against Colorado.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they didn't.
That was bad. Yeah. My Notre Dame Fighting Irish took out Arkansas so badly. Jeremiah Love 4 first-half touchdowns. So much so that we got their head coach fired.
I know. You were concerned about Arkansas being, SEC school. This might be a little trap game. I told you, you got to let it go. It's not going to be a trap game. Notre Dame's going to run all over them. And
I'm not fully back in yet. I'm getting there, but we're close. Speaking of which, I do want to talk about this because this just came out a few days ago. The newest head coach of Arkansas is none other than Bobby Petrino. Yes, that Bobby Petrino. First time in 13 years he's back at the Razorbacks since the motorcycle. What was going through your head when you saw that news that Petrino is back with Arkansas?
Just shocked. I couldn't really process what I saw on my Twitter or X, whatever they call the platform now, right?
That's a groundbreaking move.
That is. They're making moves. They're not fooling around here. So.
No, it's the fact that they brought him back after all the drama from 12 years ago. We also had a Auburn and A&M as a pretty decent game. I mean, this Texas A&M defense is so much better than I thought they were. Jackson Arnold looked frazzled. He just did not play good whatsoever. No. Marcel Reed didn't play that well either. But how about Le'Veon Moss? 21 carries, 139 yards. Kevin Concepcion with another incredible game. That was a fun game to watch, I'd say. Mississippi State choked against Tennessee. Flat out choked. They had that game won.
I think Tennessee caught a break there, right? Late in the fourth quarter. But, again, it sucks to see Mississippi losing that lead, but Tennessee, you got to give them props. They were staying with it the whole time. They never gave up.
Sure, I'll tell you what. Those cowbells are so annoying.
Oh my
on the
God.
broadcast.
Yeah.
That's all you hear. Louisville and Pitt had themselves a good game. I mean, Miller Moss looks like he has completely rejuvenated himself with the Louisville Cardinals. He had 339 pass yards, 33 for 51, only one interception. The Pitt Panthers are just absolute frauds.
He found his home over there in Louisville, you know.
He really has. Georgia Tech had themselves a scare against Wake Forest. They should have lost that game.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. They got lucky there down in Wake Forest.
They really did, and that's definitely the scare of the ACC. The USC Trojans suffered their first loss to the Illinois Fighting Illini, which has me wondering, how good is Indiana, or was that game just a fluke?
I think we talked about it, how Illinois just really couldn't get anything going in Indiana, right? And you talked about saying maybe this is going to be the downfall for Illinois, and I said I don't think they're gonna maybe win by a lot, but I sure know they're gonna fight back, and that's what they did, and they pulled off the big win against USC. Now with being said, I don't think USC is a terrible team, right? They just ran a hungry Illinois team.
I personally think they're a terrible team. I think they're gonna lose every game for the rest of the season, but that's just me hate watching. Because I hate that team with all my heart. But to follow that up with a game that we're going to get into the games that we're actually going to get on somewhat of a deep dive on. I kid you not, what I saw on Friday night was absolutely ridiculous. That was the greatest field storm in the history of field storms. Squirrel White might still be laying down on the floor after that.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your thoughts on Virginia upsetting Florida State.
Well, I think it's funny how we were praising North Texas, right? And Chandler Morris goes to Virginia, and he's having a season so far. Despite throwing 3 interceptions, he threw for 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he's had help with his running game with Jameer Taylor, 99 yards on 27 carries, right? And going to Florida State, they didn't play a bad offensive game either. Tommy Castellanos, 254 yards. 1 TD and 2 interceptions. That one interception was late in the game, the overtime where he had to throw a heave before, right?
Well, let's also not forget that he threw an interception really, really late in the game with like 2 minutes left. That we all thought was going to seal the game.
Yeah. And again, I think there's just no defense. There's really no defense towards the end of not towards the end of the game, but I felt like throughout the whole game, despite the interceptions, they couldn't really get a stop when each team needed to, right?
The more that I think about it, Virginia tried so many ways to hand this game to FSU, and they still ended up winning. Yeah. Greatest field storm in the history of college football.
Yeah.
But I got to ask the big question. Was that a catch in the back of the end zone? I don't think it was.
I don't think so either.
He did not have full control of the ball and was already out of bounds before doing so.
Yeah.
Tough break, FSU. And that leads to the Virginia Cavaliers being ranked. What world are we living in right now? I don't know, but I love it. Taking us up to the next game that we're going to dive into. Down go the frauds. Georgia falls to Alabama again. You called it.
I called it.
Brady Collins wanted you dead after you said Bama was going to beat Georgia. He was not pleased when I sent him that recording. But god damn, that was awful by Georgia.
And I think this game, I know Ty Simpson was on the map, but again, I think earlier in the year they're like, oh, Ty Simpson's, an average quarterback. He's not going to be that good for Bama. And boy, he came in there with a big chip on his shoulder, and he laid the hammer against Georgia.
He played so good.
He played unbelievable. He controlled the first half. He controlled it, and that propelled them to win the game.
He played so much better than I thought he would. Like, no joke. I'm genuinely impressed with how well he played.
What about the Alabama defense holding Gunnar Stockton under 150 yards passing?
I mean, Mike Bobo is probably the most wanted man in all of the Deep South because his play calling had Georgia fans that I know were losing their shit.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
But justifiably so. I do want to give a shout out, however, on Georgia's offense to number 33, Chauncey Bowens. He ran the ball like a fucking maniac.
Yeah, he did.
12
Yeah,
carries,
give it
141
up,
yards.
Clap it up. Clap it up.
Brutal. That's rough. Bama sucks. Georgia's terrible. They're not that good. Like, no joke. Why are they? They literally cannot beat Bama. It's ridiculous. They've only beat them one time in like the last 5 years, and that was in the 2023 national championship. Or no, 2020. No, 21 was the last time they beat Georgia, I believe, or they beat Bama. Was in that one natty that Kelly Ringo pick 6 is, if I'm not mistaken, the last time that they fucking beat Georgia or that they beat Bama. To follow that up, yeah.
I just want to go over one game. Is a Duke-Syracuse game, and
you were there, right?
No, just seeing Syracuse just being shambles is heartbreaking. Losing
they just beat Clemson too.
Yeah, right. You beat Clemson, then you end up getting absolutely sauced by Darian Mensah, and you lose.
Darian Mensah just did that to you.
Yeah, Darian Mensah, who's he's overpaid $4 million to go to Duke and be a 3-2 team.
That's rough. That's really, really rough. Following that up, by the way, I can't let this go by. Indiana, what the fuck was that? That was a brutal game. Don't ever play like that again, or you're just never going to win. They scraped past Iowa. That game was embarrassing. But yeah, back to the main stuff. LSU took on Ole Miss, and let me tell you, man, Trinidad Chambliss is the real deal. This man played out of his mind, and he's not even the starting quarterback.
Nope.
Austin Simons, your job might be in jeopardy after that performance. What did you think about this game?
I think it started for LSU. How they really couldn't move. I feel like they really couldn't move the ball as much with us trying to pass the ball. Only 197 yards. His QBR rating was 75.3. That's not ideal for him. I think he could have played way better. But again, congrats to Ole Miss defense really keeping him in check. And then again, like you said, Ole Miss's backup quarterback, 314 yards. That's just numbers you can't throw out there, right? You think, oh, LSU's coming in here, back up. You know, we're gonna get to his head early. No, he came out there and he controlled the game again.
He played very efficient from what I saw.
Big ups, and he had a lot of help from his 2 running backs, Kewan Lacey and Trinidad. Trinidad was a quarterback, but he really ran the ball good as well, right? So they were able to control the game
on 14 carries. I also want to give a little bit of a shout out to Ole Miss's defense. In that first half, they stood up LSU.
Oh, they were like bees swarming everywhere.
LSU did. I mean, the refs did everything they could to hand LSU that game. No questions asked. That officiating was awful.
I think all the media that was going around the whole week really built the anticipation for this game, because looking at this game, I wouldn't have thought it'd be as hyped as a Penn State Oregon game or the Alabama Georgia game, but I thought it was right up there. I don't know if you saw the. It was all that
Whit week storyline.
Yeah,
that's what drew attention to this game.
And I don't know if you saw there. I saw this post where it's like it shows you how many viewers they got, and they were just under Penn State and Oregon, right? Alabama Georgia was of course at the top with like 14 million views, right? And then they were just under. I think they're at like 7 million or whatever it was, right? So again, they put up on a great show.
Yeah. Speaking of putting on a great show, on Saturday night, the original plan was we were going to call Penn State and Oregon. We somehow called 2 games at once. Well, I called 2 games at once. It was ridiculous how we did that. But yeah, man, death, taxes, and James Franklin losing in big games. They did it again. Somehow, some way.
What's new? Another L for James Franklin in the big game. The
San Diego Padres of college football, Penn State, cannot win the big
Not tonight. I think the Padres are going to win tonight.
I agree, but that's the Cubs. I mean, I'm not moved.
Go Cubbies, go. But, yeah, and Drew Allard not helping his case this year. You know, in the offseason, the buzz that he's going to be the best quarterback, I really don't see it anymore. Really, 137 yards, again, under 150. 2 TDs, 1 interception, and QBR rating of 68.6.
Drew Aller, you are the perfect candidate for the New York Jets starting quarterback advisor.
Not going to get the job done. Maybe for the Jets, he could be a third stringer, right?
Hey, Christian Hackenberg was a starting quarterback in the league for a couple of weeks. Also,
we have our quarterback, Justin Fields. We just got to figure out our running backs and our defense, maybe. Discipline. Same old Jets.
Literally same old Jets. But yeah, this game was crazy. I do want to give a massive shout out to third string running back De'Aaron Hill, 94 yards. Noah Whittington was a non-factor in this game. Also, I want to give another shout out to Decorian Moore. He played super well. On the Penn State side, I mean, watching Katron Allen do better than Nick Singleton reminds me that these guys are like both going to be in the league next year.
I think you got to give kudos also to Dante Moore. I mean, I think he played nearly perfect.
Yeah.
Nearly perfect.
3 touchdowns, no turnovers.
No turnovers. And exactly in that atmosphere, that's what you need. You got to be nearly perfect.
They had 7 minutes more time of possession than Penn State. They had the ball, it felt like the entire game.
They had the ball in the whole entire second half. They did a really nice job.
I also want to give a shout out to Dan Lanning, who just might be my favorite coach in all of college football now. His interview post-game had me just dying. It was so funny. I could not control myself when I heard what he said. And I'm going to pull up the quote for you right now, and I'm going to play it into my headphones because his post-game was absolutely just off the rails.
We said this game's going to be about 1,000 cuts.
It's in the speaker.
Every cut matters. Every cut matters. And eventually hit the jugular. That was it right there.
Game's going to be 1,000 cuts. Every cut matters. And eventually we hit the jugular. Yeah. Might be the quote of the year.
It's got to be.
But yeah, huge win by the Oregon Ducks. They needed this more than anything.
Yeah.
Because now we've proven that once again, Penn State are the frauds of college football. As we now get into this week's
next to Georgia there.
Sure. As we now get into this week's AP Top 25. My Top 25, I have it, but I don't have the picture of it, so I'm just going to read off what it was real fast, and then we can discuss in a moment. My Top 25 is the following. If I can find this goddamn picture. Where is it? Come on, you're telling me. Oh, my gosh. I'm just going to open up the app that it's in. But as we get mine up, this is this week's AP Top 25. I mean, I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest. I mean, here it is. Virginia's ranked, for Christ's sake. Who saw that coming?
Not on my 2025 bingo card.
So my rankings are Ohio State, Miami, Oregon, OU, Ole Miss, A&M, Penn State, Texas, Indiana, Bama, Texas Tech, Iowa State, Georgia, LSU, Vandy, Tennessee, FSU, Missouri, Michigan, GT, Notre Dame, Virginia, BYU, Illinois, Arizona State.
I really don't see a problem with this top 25 again, because the teams that lost, they weren't like blowouts in the top 25 with like LSU, right? And Alabama and Georgia. So I think they did a really nice job not dropping them completely off right into the 20s, but around there. So again, from 22 to 25, I really don't care who's going to be in there, right? That does nothing to me. So
yeah, it's gonna be a wild week for sure. We have a lot of movement. I mean, I gotta say, do we really think Oregon's number 2? I mean, how good is Penn State? Let's be honest. We're gonna have to find out.
We're gonna find out.
If Penn State loses to UCLA this weekend, it's gonna be one of the funniest things ever. As we now get into this week's pick'ems, starting with Iowa State and Cincinnati. This game is gonna be wild. Who we taking, Jake?
Let's go Cyclones here.
I'm riding high with Iowa State still. They're 5-0, one of the best teams in college football. But, man, them Cincinnati Bearcats look good, don't they?
Yeah.
They just picked up a monumental win over Kansas.
Yeah.
That
a
being
Big
said,
12 opponent game right here.
it is. And I think
Big
if Cincy
conference game.
wins, they're in the driver's seat to go to the conference title game. But I'm going with the Cyclones. As we follow that up with Kansas State and BYU. Kansas State finally won a game this week.
Big bounce back one right there. They needed that one. They went on a little skid in September.
They are playing a Baylor team that got heartbroken a few weeks ago by Arizona State. This is definitely a must-win game for the Bears. They just whooped up on Oklahoma State, who just might be the worst team in the entire Big 12 conference. I'm rolling with Sawyer Robertson and the Baylor Bears to knock out Avery
not so
Johnson.
fast. Give me Avery Johnson. I think, again, you said Baylor coming off a heartbroken game. That's not going to matter. I think Kansas State steamrolled them here.
Steamrolls them is crazy. Following that up with Vanderbilt and Alabama. Shout out to the Vanderbilt Commodores.
They're
College
really having
game day
fantastic
is
2 years, man.
College game day is going to their game. That's just unbelievable. Who would have thought that for a team that's absolutely putrid at college football historically?
Yeah.
Who are we taking here?
They did it last year. I don't think they're doing it again. Give me Alabama. Ty Simpson. He's just
not
really
in Tuscaloosa, man.
No.
It's not happening in Tuscaloosa.
I'm not saying Vandy's a bad team because they really flipped the program these past 2 years. I hope they continue to build that. But I don't see them going in Tuscaloosa and doing that.
If they get that done, I mean, that if Vanderbilt beats Alabama, we're living in a simulation. You know why? Who did Alabama beat last year? Who did they play after Georgia?
Tell me. Just tell me.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Yep.
Who are they playing this year after beating
Vanderbilt.
Georgia? Vanderbilt. If they win this thing again, if Vanderbilt wins again, we're living in a simulation.
Yeah.
So Tide wins.
History repeats itself.
Tide wins. Vandy covers. Texas and Florida.
Oh, see, I think this is where it's going to be a upset here. I think Lagway is going to go out there and break. I'm talking shatter Longhorn fans' heart.
I like the pick. I really do. I'm going with Texas. I'm going to be safe on this one because I just don't trust Billy Napier. It's going to be a trap game for sure.
Yeah.
I don't trust Billy Napier. Virginia at Louisville. Again, another sleeper game. I'm going to be watching this game at 3:30 for sure because I love watching Chandler Morris,
I think, Guy, you're going to hate me for this, but I think those interceptions are not going to be fixed by next week, and I think Louisville is going to capitalize on those. Give me Louisville and Miller Moss here.
Not so fast, my friend. Give me the Virginia Cavaliers. I'm riding this train with Chandler Morris until they eventually break my heart. Washington and Maryland.
Oh, Washington really fell behind early against Ohio State. Really couldn't get back into it. Maryland, they're having a decent year, right? Yeah. Give me the Huskies here. Give me the Huskies.
Going with the Huskies. I'm also going to go with the Huskies. They might be ranked after this week, genuinely speaking.
Yeah.
UNLV and wait, did they? Oh my God, they forgot a game. All right, I'm just going to rifle off that game then. Mississippi State is going to Kyle Field to take on Texas A&M.
Oh, College Station. Give me the Aggies here.
Going to Aggies. Dude, I'm not going to lie. The Cowbells look legit, though. I'll be honest. Yeah. Mississippi State looks really good. Credit where credit is due. But, yeah, I'm going with Texas A&M as well. And to follow that game up, because for some reason I didn't mention this game either, and it really bothers me that they skipped over this game, Michigan State and Nebraska.
I think Matt Rule I don't think he's doing a fantastic job, but he is doing a good job controlling what they can control. And Dylan Raiola, sophomore year here, I think he's going to have a great game, and I think he's going to carry them to victory here.
Yeah, I'm going with Nebraska to get the upset win over Michigan State. As we now get back to the regular games with UNLV versus Wyoming. This game is shockingly, UNLV is still looking good as my G5 bid. They have not lost yet.
Yeah, and UNLV, they're always not mediocre. They are above par, and they are pretty solid. They're always in that conversation. So, like being said, give me UNLV here. Give me the Rebels.
Going with Dan Mullen and the Rebels on this one. As we follow that up with Kansas versus UCF.
I'm a big fan of the Jayhawks here. I'm a big fan of the Jayhawks.
Bounce back win for Kansas. I agree.
Yeah.
You got Jalen Daniels in them. Duke in California. Hey, it's your favorite team to talk about, the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, Cal. I think Cal is just terrible, so I'm gonna have to go with Mensah here and Duke.
Not so fast, my friend. To give me Sagapulatelli and the California Golden Bears to knock off the Duke Blue Devils. As we've now gotten to the moment that you've all been waiting for, it's the Empire Sports Media Game of the Week, 7:30 Eastern Time. The number 3 ranked Miami Hurricanes, the number 18 ranked Florida State Seminoles. Jake, who are we going with on this Sunshine Showdown in Tallahassee?
I'm going to start with Miami here. They've had a hard couple first weeks, right? Now it's starting to get a little easier, but jumping right back into it, you have a hungry Florida State team here, right? Chris Ball, head coach from Miami, not going to deal with it this week. Give me Florida State and Tommy Castellanos going in there, coming off hungry, coming back, and establishing a big victory here. Give me the Seminoles.
Man, I did not think that I was going to be doing this again. Got another Miami game. It drives me crazy that we have to do another Miami Hurricanes game. And it's really frustrating to me that this is what we've come to, that we're doing so many games with teams that I don't like. That being said, I have advocated many times for the Miami Hurricanes to be the number 1 team in the country. I've also thought there's a legitimate chance that Florida State is one of the most underappreciated teams in all of college football. Carson Beck looks incredible. Corey Heatherman has done a fantastic job with the Miami Hurricanes. And I'm truly impressed with how he's done. That being said, however, Doak Campbell at night is a pretty hard place to play, dare I say. I mean, we saw what happened when number 5 Notre Dame went there. Granted, we got robbed in that game, but it is what it is. We saw what happened when Alabama went to Doak Campbell. Everyone's doing the chop every single play. Guess what? Not on Saturday. I'm going with the Miami Hurricanes to stay undefeated and knock off Florida State.
Wow.
Let me take this damn hat off.
I hope somebody took a picture of that.
Screw you. Much better. Anyway, that's going to be all for another episode of College Football Frenzy. For Jake Marino, I'm JJ Seglio. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you guys right back here on Monday night. Good night.
We're parked out by the tracks. We're sitting in the back and we just started getting busy when she whispered, what was that? The wind, I think, 'cause no one else knows where we are. And that was when she started screaming, that's my dad.